This is bigger than a flag. You know what scares me the most about all of this? It's not the statement saying that the pride flag will never fly outside Sunderland City Hall again. It's how many people are laughing while it happens. Because once society starts deciding which people deserve visibility and which people don't, the road never really stops where people think it might. Last year, Reform Sunderland publicly posted about Sunderland Pride. Enjoy it whilst you can. When we take the council next May, we'll be pulling all funding support. And now they're in power. We hear this. The pride flag will never be flown outside Sunderland City Hall. Never. That's the word they chose. Never. And this is important because at the same time, Reform also said this. Pride? We think taxpayers' money is better spent on a St. George's Day festival for everybody in the community. Now listen carefully. I have absolutely no issue with St. George's Day. None whatsoever. My dad was called George. My son is called George. St. George's Day is something my family has celebrated for years. So let's kill that argument right there. The St. George's cross flying outside City Hall is not the problem. Matter of fact, there are 3 flagpoles outside Sunderland City Hall. So the St. George's flag can fly, and the Union flag can fly, and the Pride flag could fly too. So this was never about space on a flagpole. It was about deciding which communities deserve representation and which ones don't. And now Reform are in power. I think the public have a right to ask a fair question. Will the funding that you threatened to pull from Pride now suddenly appear for a St. George's Day festival? Or was all of that just another culture war against whichever group of people politicians decided to target this week? Because if your politics needs a constant enemy to survive, then maybe your politics is the problem. And before anybody says, oh, it's just a flag, no, it never starts with just anything. Alan Turing was the man who helped crack the Enigma code during World War II. I would consider him one of our greatest veterans. Millions of people are alive because of work he did. And what did Britain do to him afterwards? Chemical castration, humiliation, isolation. A war hero treated like a disease. So forgive me if I don't laugh when people say, why does representation matter? Because history is full of people being told, hide who you are, stay quiet, don't upset people, don't be seen. And yet people from oppressed communities still helped build this country. In science, in music, in healthcare, in education, in the arts, in our communities. And while Sunderland politicians are saying never, something interesting is happening over in Durham. Reform refused to contribute £10,000 towards Durham Pride, an event that costs around £95,000 to run. And you know what happened? Trade unions and local communities came together and raised £15,000 instead. So their attempt to weaken Pride actually made Pride bigger. Because deep down, most people still understand something simple. You do not have to fully understand somebody's life to understand their humanity. And Sunderland should know that better than most. This city was built by working people standing shoulder to shoulder. Miners, shipbuilders, trade unionists, communities protecting each other when times were tough. Not culture wars or misinformation dressed up as fact. Not deciding some neighbors deserve respect less than others. There's an old warning from history that when people stay silent because something doesn't affect them personally, eventually there's nobody left when they become the target. That warning is nearly 80 years old and somehow it still feels completely relevant in Britain in 2026. So no, this isn't really about a flag. It's about whether some people get told you belong here while others get told hide who you are. And if a straight man like me can say that, why is it so difficult for some of the politicians to do the same? You see, community either includes all of us or it means absolutely nothing at all. Agree or disagree? Talk to me.